In Umioma village, the mornings were always lively. Women sang while pounding yam, men sharpened their machetes before heading to the farms, and children's laughter filled the dusty paths. But in one small mud hut, a little girl named Ada lived differently. She was born with legs that could not carry her. While other children raced through the fields, Ada sat quietly on a mat outside her home, clapping and cheering for them. Her eyes were bright, her smile warm, yet deep inside, she longed to join them. One evening, as the sun painted the horizon in gold, Ada turned to her mother and asked softly, "Mama, why can't I walk like the others?" Her mother stopped peeling cassava and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "My child, the Creator makes no mistake. One day, you will understand why you are different." "Why can't I run like them, Mama?" Ada asked softly, her large eyes gazing up at her mother. Her mother, who was peeling cassava nearby, stopped for a moment. She sighed, wiping sweat from her forehead. "My daughter, every child is made in a special way. The Creator has His plans for you. One day, you will see." Though her mother's words were meant to comfort her, Ada still felt a heavy question in her heart. What plan could there be for a girl who could not walk? That evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky orange, Ada saw the village children chase goats and roll old tires with sticks. She laughed with them, but deep inside, she whispered to herself, "I wish I could be like them, just for one day." Little did she know, her difference was not a weakness, it was the beginning of a journey that would change her people's lives forever. The next morning, Ada sat under the shade of a mango tree. A small group of children gathered nearby, whispering to each other and pointing. Soon, their whispers turned to laughter. "Look at her legs," one boy said. "She cannot walk. She only sits." The others laughed, clapping their hands as if it were a funny story. Ada lowered her head, her fingers playing with the dry leaves scattered around her. She felt a sting in her chest, but instead of crying, she remained calm. A boy named Chuka, who was always playful, shouted, "Run to us, Ada." Then he laughed loudly with the others. Ada raised her head slowly and looked at them with her bright, steady eyes. "Maybe I cannot run," she said softly, "but I can dream. And in my dreams, I go farther than any of you." Her words silenced them for a moment. Some children shifted uncomfortably, but soon they returned to their games. Ada sat quietly, plucking at the dry leaves on the ground. That night, she prayed silently. "Creator, if you made me different for a reason, please show me." And soon, an answer would come in a way no one expected. That night, Ada had a dream unlike any she had before. She found herself standing, yes, standing, on a wide plain filled with cracked earth and thirsty trees. The sky above was dark, and a riverbed lay dry. Suddenly, a deep voice echoed, "Ada, though your legs cannot carry you, your spirit will guide your people. Lead them to water, and they will live." Ada turned in the dream and saw a stream bubbling far away, hidden in the forest. She wanted to run toward it, but before she could, she woke up, her chest pounding. Her mother found her sitting upright. "Ada, what troubles you?" "Mama," she whispered, "I saw a dry land, a thirsty people, and a spring of water in the forest. A voice told me I must lead our people there." Her mother frowned, unsure what to say. But Ada's eyes were glowing with something she had never seen before, certainty. The next morning, Ada's mother took her to Baba Kalu, the oldest man in the village. With his walking stick in hand and hair as white as cotton, he was known for his wisdom. They found him seated under the great Iroko tree, surrounded by children listening to his stories. When Ada shared her dream, Baba Kalu listened quietly, stroking his beard. "Child," he said gently, "the spirits speak to those with pure hearts. Your legs may not walk, but your vision sees what others cannot. This dream may be a warning." Ada's mother looked worried. "Baba Kalu, should we take her words seriously?" She is only a child. But Baba Kolu shook his head. Sometimes, the Creator uses the smallest among us to do the greatest things. Let us watch and see. Ada felt a spark of hope. For the first time, someone believed her dream mattered. Days turned into weeks, and soon the signs of trouble began. The river that once flowed near Omuoma grew shallow. The women struggled to fill their pots, and the goats bleated loudly in thirst. The earth cracked under the hot sun, and the farms yielded little harvest. Whispers of fear spread among the villagers. At the square, the village chief stood before the people. "We must remain strong," he declared. "The rains will soon return." But as the days dragged on, the rains did not come. Children cried for water, and men returned from the stream with empty gourds. Ada sat outside, watching the worried faces. Deep inside, she remembered her dream. "It is happening," she thought. The voice was right. One evening, the chief summoned the villagers under the central tree. His voice was heavy with worry. "Our river has dried. Our goats are dying. If the rains do not come, we may lose everything." Murmurs of fear filled the air. Some women wept openly, while the men shook their heads in despair. Ada sat beside her mother, listening closely. Her heart pounded. She wanted to speak but felt small among the crowd. Just then, Baba Kolu placed a hand on her shoulder. "Do not be afraid, child. Sometimes even a whisper can be stronger than a shout." Gathering courage, Ada slowly raised her hand. The villagers stunned, shocked. What could the crippled girl possibly say? With her hand trembling, Ada spoke softly, but her words carried weight. I saw this in a dream. The river drying. The earth cracking. But I also saw water, hidden in the forest. Gasps filled the crowd. Some villagers frowned. "Dreams are for children," one man scoffed. "Can this girl save us?" But Baba Kolu stepped forward. "The Creator speaks in many ways. If Ada has seen water, should we not at least listen?" The chief studied Ada carefully. Though doubtful, he saw the light in her eyes. Finally, he nodded. "We will give the child a chance. If her dream is true, she will lead us." Ada's heart raced. The fate of her people now rested on her small shoulders. The next morning, the villagers prepared for the journey. Mats were tied together to carry Ada, for she could not walk. Bags of food, calabashes of palm wine, and walking sticks were gathered. Women packed dried cassava, men sharpened machetes for the forest, and children filled gourds with the little water left. Ada sat quietly as they placed her gently on the mat. Her mother kissed her forehead. "My child, may the spirits guide you." Though nervous, Ada felt a calmness in her heart. She remembered the bubbling spring from her dream. "We will find it," she told herself. And so, the villagers began their long march into the unknown. The villagers walked through tall golden grasses, the sun beating down fiercely. Sweat dripped from their faces, and their bare feet kicked up dust. At the center, 4 strong men carried Ada on the mat. She sat upright, her bright eyes scanning the path. "Are you sure, Ada?" one woman asked, her voice doubtful. Ada nodded firmly. "Keep walking. The spring is near." Though tired, the people pressed on, hope flickering in their hearts. In the distance, green hills rose, and birds circled in the sky. Could it be the place from her dream? The villagers walked through tall golden grasses, the sun beating down fiercely. Sweat dripped from their faces, and their bare feet kicked up dust. At the center, 4 strong men carried Ada on the mat. She sat upright, her bright eyes scanning the path. "Are you sure, Ada?" one woman asked, her voice doubtful. Ada nodded firmly. "Keep walking. The spring is near." Though tired, the people pressed on, hope flickering in their hearts. In the distance, green hills rose, and birds circled in the sky. Could it be the place from her dream? At last, after hours of walking, Ada cried out, "Stop here." The villagers paused, confused. Before them lay a thick forest. Ada pointed with trembling hands. "In there. That is where the water is." The men pushed through the bushes, machetes slicing branches aside. Suddenly, they heard it, a soft gurgling sound. Rushing forward, they found it, a bubbling spring of fresh, clear water, hidden under the shade of ancient trees. Shouts of joy erupted. Some villagers knelt to drink greedily, while others danced and clapped. Children splashed in the cool water, laughing for the first time in weeks. Ada smiled, tears in her eyes. Her dream had been true. The villagers filled their pots and calabashes, balancing them on their heads with wide smiles. For the first time in weeks, hope filled their hearts. The men dug small channels, guiding the water toward the village farms. Women sang songs of gratitude as they carried water back home. That evening, as the sun set, the chief stood before the people. "Because of Ada, we have water again. She is young, but she has saved us." The crowd clapped and cheered, surrounding Ada with joy. She sat shyly on her mat, overwhelmed but happy. Days later, the chief organized a festival in Ada's honor. Drums echoed through the village, dancers stamped their feet, and the smell of roasted yam and palm oil filled the air. Ada was placed on a decorated chair adorned with flowers. The chief stepped forward and placed a colorful beaded necklace around her neck. "From today," he declared, "Ada is not the crippled child. She is the seer of Umulma, the girl who saved her people." Cheers erupted. Ada blushed, her smile wide as the villagers clapped and danced around her. The children who once mocked Ada came forward shyly, their heads bowed. "We are sorry, Ada," Chuka muttered, his voice low. "We did not know you were special." Ada looked at their apologetic faces and smiled warmly. "I forgive you. Let us be friends." She reached out her hands, and the children took them. From that day, they no longer laughed at her difference. Instead, they walked beside her proudly, knowing she had given them life. With water flowing again, the village farms flourished. Goats grew fat, children ran with joy, and the once dry river now sparkled. Ada became a symbol of hope. People from nearby villages came to hear her story, and her name spread beyond Umulma. Though her legs still could not walk, Ada carried something far greater: wisdom, courage, and light.